hate to say that we were kidnapped and brought here. It's true. It's not hate to say that we were Jim Crow, discriminated and segregated. It's true.
Our problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about...
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Good evening. This is your man, H. Rob B from Build and Destroy. This is brought to you by End of the Bench Media. Thank you for tapping in. It is important that you do so. I am attempting to uplift my community by building up the community and destroying the lies and propaganda that surround our community. Today, we're going to talk about a myriad of things. It is an interesting week, 7 days to the election day. We are in a conundrum, to say the least. We are looking at a situation to whereas you have half the population believe in one thing, the other half believe in something totally different, and we will see exactly what the United States of America is in 7 days. The reason I say we'll see exactly what the United States of America is in 7 days is simply because if you believe that you have a fighting chance in this country, you'll do what you have to do. And if you believe in power, if you believe in discrimination, if you'll do something totally different. It's a lot of situations in the world. And whereas when we watch these situations or we look at these situations, what we do is put ourselves in a position of what we want versus what we need and what we have. And the reason I bring that up is this. You have a lot of people affiliating themselves with certain groups of people. I'm not here to tell you who to affiliate yourself with. Understand who you are, and you do the best that you can do in regards to being the best human you can be. And I'm going to even talk about that later on in the program about political integrity and communal integrity is what I'm going to talk about. We're going to talk about political integrity. I am using this as a litmus test. If the person who I vote for wins, and by a very small margin where it could be contested, what I'm going to do is take a second look at the United States of America, understand where I fit into that situation, and I'm going to just be comfortable with what that is, and then I'll move forward and do what I have to do. If it isn't, then I'll start believing some of the nonsense. Well, I'm not even going to say nonsense. I'm going to start believing some of the things and the propagandized information that is sent to us on a regular basis. And what I'll do at that point is say, hey, maybe I've been wrong. Maybe, just maybe, all of this time, I've been wrong about what I believe, and there's nothing wrong with being wrong with, about what you believe if you're willing to change. Now, I don't believe I'm going to be wrong, and it's going to be a situation to whereas I'm going to have to just face the facts, and the people in my community are going to have to face the facts of, hey, you are in a situation and you better get yourself out of it almost immediately, if not. And this situation, I believe that we're on the precipice of, I don't think it's going to be an easy fix to get out of. So what we will do is, what I'm going to talk about today is the day after the election. The day after the election. The day after the election is probably the most important day in the world for us. In the event, the people who think like we will have to go into action. We will definitely have to go in action. There is no time to throw your fists up in the air and say, yes, we want. No, there's no more time for that. We don't have the capacity to say, hey, it's time, we made it. No, now it's time to go to work. In the event that the people who think like myself, good evening, T, what's good, man? Thank you for the support. Hit that like, hit that share, tell a friend to tap in. What I want you to do is understand that is day one of work. That is literally, today you're in orientation. You are literally in orientation. You're being trained to set yourself up for the rest of your life. And the reason I'm saying this is because we are in the midst of a hate-mongering, bigoted, discriminatory regime, or people who are thinking they're slick and conniving, and they're going to trick you into lull you into a sense of security so they can do what they want to do. There are no, and some Dr. John Henry Clark used to famously say, in some stories there are no heroes, and in this story there will be no hero. You know, we got mad love and respect for our sister Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris. We understand, but we also understand that she's a politician. And politicians do what's best for them and in order to keep the job that they're attempting to obtain. And that's it. That's it. If you want to be, you could want to be a lifetime senator, a lifetime state rep, a lifetime mayor, a lifetime governor, or whatever position you intend to pursue. That could be the precipice of what you want to do. And you want to make sure you keep that forever and ever and ever and ever, or in her case, for the next 8 years. The next 8 years should be hers according to how she feels. Not a problem with that either. I don't have a problem. Her and Governor Walz, I wish them the best. And so which lets you know where I'm leaning. But what I want to do is talk about the day after. The day after is the most important day of the year. And I promise you that. See, this is where we need to ground ourselves and take ourselves out of our feelings and understand who we are and what we need to do and moving forward. I'm going to show you a video, and that video is going to be a little abrasive to some people. It's going to use the word like best, supreme, and greatest, and things of that nature, speaking about our community. And there's going to be some people from our community who support me. Thank you. They're going to cringe because words like the best and supreme and physically superior and mentally superior, we're not used to hearing that terminology when we're speaking of ourselves. So make you cringe and make you feel like you're saying, because I'm the best, you're worse. No, because I'm the best at this, that should give you something to strive for. And because I'm the best does not mean I'm going to kick you in your face. But in most cases, in the United States of America, when someone lets you know that they're better than you at something, that means it's time to defend yourself. Our history says there's no room for that in our spirits. We are spiritual beings, we're sentient beings, and we have no intentions on destroying or harming any other human being in the world. And then I already know it's somebody, I have these conversations with my friends and neighbors and people who I'm close to all the time. Well, we're the worst to ourselves and blah, blah, blah. I'm going to say this for the umpteenth time. I'm going to need you to stop quoting things when they're detrimental or to support your argument about us. And then when it's detrimental to you, you ignore it. No, I am a chew up the meat and spit out the bones kind of person. I am able to hear information, process it, take what I need out, and then move forward with the rest of my life. That's what you should be as well. But we can no longer lean on the premise of, hey, they could be right because I saw it on the news. But then when it's saying, hey, H-Rap, you a clown. Oh, no, I don't believe that. No, believe what you're going to believe, but understand your opinion is only as strong as what you can prove. I just did that thing. I got to not do that. But your opinion is only strong as what you can prove. You can have the opinion that a hot dog is the greatest sandwich in the world. And all you have to do is, I love the way it's shaped. I love the way I can break it off a piece. I love the way I can eat it. I love the way I can put a condiment on it. It can be hot. You can have a cold bun. Hot. You can describe why you like hot dogs, but you just cannot say, well, that's my opinion, and expect someone to respect it. So when people say black people are the worst people in the world, show me. All I need you to do is show me. Then when you cannot show me, what I'm going to do is create my own perception of my own community, and we'll move forward. Now, first and foremost, we live in a capitalistic society. When you live in a capitalistic society, what you have to do is conform to the capitalism and put yourself in a situation to whereas while you working inside of this bubble, you are not pushed outside of the bubble and you are not strangled or suffocated by being inside of the bubble. And I do believe we are either A, being trying to push outside of the bubble so we will starve and die away, or while we're in the bubble, the oxygen is being taken away from us and we will die due to lack of oxygen in the bubble, even though we helped create the bubble. We were the first people in the bubble and we helped produce the best oxygen in the bubble. Those are metaphors, but I want you to understand is this. This is what we're up against. We, as I stated a couple of weeks ago, we can no longer stand around and say, well, what you need to do, Vice President and Mr. President. And I'm, one thing, allow me to put a pin in that. I'm gonna need y'all to put Tim Walz hold him to the same standard y'all hold Kamala Harris or JD Vance or anybody else, because up until the last year, the last 365 days, I've never heard the question, what did the Vice President do? I'm talking about from Dan Quayle, from George W. Bush, from Al Gore, from HW, I can't think of his name. I could see his face for H.W. Bush. I mean, H.W. Bush was the first. W was the second. I never understood. I never asked. Nobody ever asked what was President Biden doing. Nobody ever asked what was Vice President Pence doing. But now all of a sudden, Vice President Harris has so many responsibilities, and she's not doing enough, and she's not doing this, and she's not doing that. So I'm gonna need that trend to continue, or I'm gonna need you to shut up. Or it shows me that all you're doing is parroting things that you think that people who are smarter than you, and only the reason you think they're smarter than you because you haven't taken the time to understand what they're talking about. So you think, hey man, he's a smart person. No, he's just a person who had a little more information than you, and some things that you don't know. That doesn't make him more astute or adept or anything in the history of the world that describes better or more capable. So stop saying people are smart because they know something that you don't know. They're just a little more informed than you are. Back to what I was talking about. Now, when you're living in a capitalistic society, what you have to do is adapt. You have to adapt to the rules. And the reason you participate in this capitalistic society is you reach out for information, Google, newspapers, news programs, word of mouth conversations, and then you continue to make that a cyclical situation. One of the few things about a college education, and I'm being disingenuous to say one of the few things. One of the more advantageous things to obtaining a college education is you can write a paper. You get term papers. You get them like 2 or 3 times per class, and you must cite where you got your information from, and you must be able to prove your opinion. All it is, a term paper is nothing but your opinion, and you went and found some people who are experts, and then they are going to substantiate your opinion. And that's one of the benefits of obtaining a college degree, because it forces you to show your work, so to speak, like they used to do in math class. But civics is one of the more important things in a capitalistic society, because civics control the capitalism. Contrary to popular belief, civics control the capitalism. The easiest example of this I can show you is this. 1980. I was 10 years old. I used to ride around with my parent. She had a gold Chevy Nova, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember wearing a seatbelt too often. At all. And that's not throwing shade at my mom, but it was the culture. You didn't really wear seatbelts back then. It wasn't, oh man, you got to be safe. And so guess what? People are flying out of cars. And when you fly out of a car and you get killed in a dangerous way, or if you are killed in a horrific way, insurance companies, instead of paying that $50,000, they have to give you $100,000, because that's called double indemnity. And you know what the insurance companies did? They used their power to inflict and change civic law, personal law, not federal law, not criminal law, but civil law. So what we're going to do is find the people who drive around without seatbelts. So if you're not going to get us to pay you double because somebody T-boned you or something happened, you hit some black ice and did a hydroplane and destroyed your car and potentially hurt somebody in your family, hurt or killed someone in your family, the insurance company said, we're not going to be paying double anymore. So what they did is inject their power, and now it is legal in every state, all 50 states, illegal to not have a seatbelt on. So if they can do that, they have billions of dollars though, right? How you gonna say we can do it? Because it's millions of us. See, we don't exercise our civil rights. What we do is sit around, we wait 4 years, which is moronic, and we say, H-Rap gonna run for president. I'm gonna vote for H-Rap, and he gonna fix all the problems. Then 2 years later, the other group says, well, H-Rap didn't do this. And you say, yeah, he did. And it becomes a cyclical situation of ignorance, and we never advance because we're enthralled with nonsense. What I want us to start doing is this: participating in the political situation, understanding that every 2 years, a state representative is going to be running for his job. If he's not doing, if in 365 days after he's sworn in, if your neighborhood is exactly the same, he's not doing his job. If you have not been in contact with him, if you have not made a complaint, if you have not, walk around your neighborhood right now, look around the things and see what's wrong. If the sidewalks are busted up, hey man, we need to have these sidewalks straight so our elders won't slip and fall and break a hip. Or when it snows, like here in Chicago, when it becomes inclement weather, they need to be able to comfortably walk down the street. all this trash in my neighborhood. You look around, are there any trash receptacles? If there are no trash receptacles, that needs to be fixed immediately. Lights, street lights. Women and children are in danger at all times. We need to do that. Since everybody loves the police, and the Democrats love the police, and the Republicans love the police, and there's just a few bad apples. Well, we need some of these damn bad apples to be patrolling our neighborhoods and get out their damn cars in the summer or the spring and the fall and walk through the neighborhood. And then you need to put something like in Chicago, you have a lot of bike cops, you have the mounted police. We need to see a police presence. I don't need to call the police after I got robbed. I need to I need to have someone here to prevent robberies. These are the things that you need to be paying attention to. You driving your car, you hitting that same pothole. I mentioned that a couple of weeks ago. You're hitting that same pothole that you hit for the last 6 months. Why are you driving around it, and why are you not complaining? He got 2 years to fix that. And if you're a mayor, you got 4 years to fix that. If you're people in the city council, you have so many years, you got 4 years to fix that. So forth. The governor, state senator, U.S. senator, these people are working for you. Their job is civil servant, meaning I do what I am at the beck and call of the public, the civilian. Civil is short for civilian. It has nothing to do with being civil and polite. No, it is civic servant. You are working for the public, period. Point blank, end of story. So this is what I want you to do. We need to become a gigantic part of this process. But more importantly than anything else, what we need to do is stop asking for jobs and make ourselves invaluable. You cannot put a dollar amount on the Black community. See, we are invaluable to the paying of rich people. We finance rich people's lives, the Black community. The United States finances the world. We consume about 38% of the goods, and we only make up 5% of the population. 38 to 40%, almost 40% of the goods. And guess what? We make up 5% of the population of Earth. So, people need the people in the United States to purchase things. You need people, Vizio, Sony, and all these companies need you, Mercedes, BMW, they need you to purchase their things so they can continue to rise, and they can continue to rise. And one thing you always need to understand to my community, wealth is quiet, rich is loud. I'm gonna say that again. Wealth is quiet, rich is loud. You never hear about Bill Gates and the rest of that whole crew, Elon Musk. And Elon Musk you hear about because he's trying to get in good with the dude he believes will be the next president, and a guy who he thinks he can control, in my personal opinion. But when you are looking at these people, you are looking at people who are quietly moving along. Warren Buffett, you don't hear about it. Warren Buffett has a side woman or a divorce or any. Bill Gates, him and his wife separated. You hear nothing about it. You don't hear anything about wealth. You hear nothing about it. You used to hear nothing about the late great Steve Jobs. They are wealthy and they go rich people. You know what they do? They buy gaudy clothes. They buy big watches. They buy all of these things to say, look at me, I'm rich. And that's what we do. And when you are a working class individual, you do everything you can to emulate that. And when you emulate it, all you do is set yourself up to be in one position. How can we get out of that position? Again, making ourselves invaluable. The things that we need to get into are the things that the world is suffering from right now. College. It is the aforementioned college education. It is paramount that you have it. That's what we're being told. But guess what? More than you need the next social worker, guess what we need more than anything? The person who can fix your electricity. If your electric goes out in your building or home, if you live in an apartment building or home, if the electric goes out, or even in a place of employment, everything stops. So seeing how there is a cavalcade of electricians. There's a whole generation due to discrimination, hate, and basically war upon the working class. There's a cavalcade, there's a canyon between the 11% of the working force that is retiring almost every day, and the people who's coming along, because some of y'all kids fail for the no, I want to go get it. I don't want to do anything physical because that's beneath me, and I'll show you a video in the middle of the show to show you what I'm talking about. So due to discrimination, everybody wasn't able to get in, and then they'll bring in their friends and family, and it's still a big canyon of people up. So guess what? There is a canyon of jobs that are being left unattended. We need to put our children in plumbing jobs. We need to put our children in electrical jobs. We need to put our children in heating and air conditioning, and continue to find how to repair robotics and things of that nature, how to repair in technology, because people are intimidated by technology, because people of my generation was told the reason technology works is because you're good at math. No, the reason the technology works is because you can remember how to create a formula. And once you can remember how to create a formula, nothing much more than remembering a phone number or remembering my very first one of the very phone number I remember, and the address I'll give you is the one I was at when I was at the aforementioned age of 10. 1442 North Cedric, apartment 57, 60610, 312-787-2942. If I can remember that 44 years later, you can remember how to align something in regards to software. So this is what we need to do, and install these things into our children. And I'm almost shocked that I can actually remember that. That had nothing to do with my notes. I do remember that. How about that? But that's what I remember. And if I can remember that chain of numbers, you can remember a formula. And if you can remember a formula, then you can be writing what is called code. What is code? Code allows you to see me at this very moment. Code allows your prescriptions to be sent at Walgreens, CVS, or whatever, from whatever hospital you are in the United States of America. I could be on vacation, and I could say, hey, I'm on vacation in Hawaii. I lost my blood pressure. I could reach out to my doctor. He'll send it to, he'll say, okay, I'm sending it to Walgreens. No, I'm in Honolulu. And you'll send it to Honolulu, and then bam, I have my medication within hours. That's what coding gets you. Coding gets you the ability to see me. Coding gets you to see AI and things of that nature. And AI is a major part of the future. So this is what we need to do. We need to get involved, get into it, and make it so we do the work. The funny thing about life is art imitates life, and life imitates art. And that has been one of the biggest questions since we started putting visual entertainment in effect, whether it be movies without sound, or if it's the movie with sound and color TV and so forth and so on. Are they telling us what we're doing, or are we giving them story points for their lives, for their product? Well, we'll continue to have that conversation. But what I will do is tell you this: as you watch television, as you watch movies and things of that nature, you do see life being imitated. Art is imitating life, and art imitates life. The reason I brought it up is one of my favorite television shows back in the day was this television show by the name of Frasier. Him and his brother were doctors. They were psychiatrists, and they were these two guys that they ran across were bullying them when they were children. These two guys were plumbers. So his younger brother, who was getting bullied the most, was like, hey, I'm above him. I'm above him, and I'm a doctor now. And look at him, he's fixing toilets. So he went in and bragged about his vehicle. Nonetheless, the man said, yeah, I understand. That is a nice car. I got one for my daughter last year. You see how what I'm saying ties right into that. 15, 20 years ago, when that television show was on, you never thought about me being a plumber. No, I'm going to get a college education, and I'm not going to be doing menial labor like being a plumber. But it was showing you, if you become a plumber and you realize everybody needs clean water, everybody needs their drains to function properly. When your toilet breaks down, if you are not a plumber, you're going to have to pay through the nose to get it, so forth and so on. Electricians are the same way, and so forth and so on. And this is where we need to go with this. The reason I'm bringing that up is it allows us to have capitalism, allows us to have a lot of free money. And this is why I had a whole another program wrote out yesterday, and I may do it next week for this, for today. But we also can create money in different ways, shape, forms, and fashions. Again, a little history on me. In 1988 was my first year voting. 1988 was my first year voting. And I was enamored with another TV show called Family Ties. And I was looking at this guy. He was played by Michael J. Fox. His name was Alex P. Keith. Alex was talking about the stock market. And he was, and it fascinated me. And he was talking about being a Republican. I didn't know what it was at that time. And I didn't know the pros and cons of politics. I was just listening to Alex, reading things and going, oh, you can make money that way? Yes, you can. And that's the purpose of the show today. That is the purpose of the show today. What I'm going to do is show you things. And right here, I'm put that on the screen. I'm going to show you some things. And I'm going to tell you about some things in which you don't need a college education. All you need to be able to read above a 6th grade level. 6th grade. The Wall Street Journal is written at a 6th grade level. All you need to do is be able to read at a 6th grade level and be able to disseminate and look at information and move forward, and you'll be able to get rich. At one point, I was heavy into this, and for whatever reason, I started thinking like most people in America, and I got away from myself. So I'm going to share a little bit of the information I have today so you and I can move forward and uplift ourselves. It's enough of us to change the market. It's enough of us to enhance ourselves in the market, and it's not as complicated as you think. The aforementioned software world is described to us and makes you hear terminology and you get intimidated and you hear math and you go, oh, I'm not good at that. But you are good at it. It's just you have never put yourself in an advantageous situation so mathematics will benefit you. And I'm looking in the wrong camera the whole show. How about that? I've been looking at the wrong camera the entire show. When I go to the video, I'll come back, we'll be in HD. But this is what I want you to understand. We are in a situation to whereas we have to learn the things in order to put ourselves in a situation that we can win every single solitary day. As you see Guru Focus. That is a stock portfolio example to whereas it can give you information in the market. Another thing, you see micro trends. This is another thing. But the most important thing of these three is Senate Tracker, Senate Stock Tracker. This is where the people who are in charge of your government, these are the people who are in charge of your government, they are investing their money right there, and they're putting you in a situation to whereas you can benefit from them. Why would the United States Senate be beneficial to your ability to earn? Because they passed the laws, rules, and regulations. Again, going back to understanding your power and your civic duty and putting yourself in an advantageous situation so you and only you can benefit from everything that you hear, learn, and move forward. And in the event that you question what I'm saying, I got back in the market yesterday and I made a little piece of change. And I'm not telling you I made millions of dollars, but without even trying, I put myself in an advantageous situation. And it is something that I used to be adept at, and I'm going to reacclimate myself so I can continue to move forward and put myself in a situation so I will not have to do anything but that. And I want you to also do these things. Look, there's a couple of things in the description. There's a link to all of these websites, and it's also a link to a place called Monday Market. I mean, it's on YouTube. It's these black men who are heavy into the market, and they will walk you through this information. People, you don't have to be the smartest person in the world. You don't have to get tricked and duped into things. What you have to do is be willing and able to read. You have to be willing to learn, able to read, and have the want and need to do things. One of the greatest things about the stock market is people tell you, yo, man, I don't have the money to do that. One of the stocks I will give you that you should vote for. Hey, man, I don't have the money to do that because it's $170 a share. And if I buy one share, how's that advantageous to me? The reason it's advantageous to you is because you buy that one share. Thank you, Rady Kid. Thank you for the support, my brother. You buy that one share, you move forward. And see, again, it's in just to show you what I'm talking about. Just while I'm talking to you, I've made $1. I'm making money just breathing, and I understand that this is something that has been described to you as complicated. It's been described to you as, oh man, you have to be this and you have to be that to move forward and get adapted this. No, you don't. You have to have a want and a desire to move forward. The three things I'm gonna focus on is this. It is I'm not going to give you the first one I have on my list because that's a waste of time. Apple. Why do you want to invest in Apple? Most of us, if you're watching this, it's a very good chance that you have a Facebook account or some form of social media. Why am I looking up at the other camera? I'm just forced to have it. I'm sorry, y'all. You have some form of social media, and then you see people. The questions: Apple or Android? Apple or Android? Apple's at the cutting edge of all technology. AI, artificial intelligence, is something that Apple is heavily invested in. They are some of the groundbreakers in technology, and they continue to expand. They have a bank. Anytime you're creating a bank, that means you have more money than Brinks. And if you have that much money, you pour it into technology, you are at the forefront of this. And Apple, even though they lost a $3.16 off their share cycle today, and I know you don't, now their stock is $233 per share. So it was $36. Now, what I want you to understand is this. You don't know any of that stuff that I just said, but what I want you to understand is this. If you go to your phone right now and download Robinhood and only have $10, you can buy a portion of that stock. And as like I said, since I've been on the call or on the show, I've gained $1. I've gained $1. So if you can gain $1 just by breathing, what if you put $10 in now? You got $10, you got $11, and now you got $15. So just for breathing, you've earned money. Now, another thing I want you to pay attention to, who's Apple's #1 competitor? YouTube, aka Google, aka Gmail. Guess what? I'm using all three of those things. I'm using Google to update and find information about what I'm doing. I'm using YouTube, which is a subsidiary of Google. And I'm using YouTube to broadcast right now. And guess what? Every time I fire up, if you go buy some Google stock, which is, it went up today, and now it's at $180 a share. No, you don't have $180, but you understand where I'm coming from. There's another technology stock, which is NVIDIA. NVIDIA is at the forefront of AI. And when you are at the forefront of something, what happens is you can grab hold of something. Just imagine if me and my friends would have did this in 1988 and said, we're going to get into Apple. Bam. We never work again. By the time we're this age, we have so much money that we never have to work. Working as an option is something that you choose to do, not something that you have to do. And this may sound like a whole nother language to you, but these are the things that I want you to do. I want you to go get Stocks for Dummies. That's an actual book, Stock for Dummies. I keep looking at the wrong camera, people. Please forgive me. I didn't turn on my HD camera. I got on my regular definition camera, and I actually like the regular definition angle better, but you'll get the different angle in a little while when I go to this thing. But what I want you to understand is this. As we continue to grow as a people, we're the #1 consumers in the world. We love to say we brought in $4 trillion last year. That means we control the markets. If you can control the market, do you understand that you can control the market with about 2,000 or 3,000 people? There's actually a movie. There's actually a movie. I'll get you that movie at a later time that shows how a couple years ago, people got together on Reddit and maybe a couple 100,000 of them or 10,000 of them and put $200 into Reddit into a company that was about to fail, which is GameStop. The bottomless day was about to file bankruptcy. All of a sudden, it turned a bunch of people into multimillionaires. Am I asking you to break the law in that fashion? No, I'm not. No, I am not. I would never tell you to break the law because I don't need you to be in jail, because if you're in jail, I ain't making money off you because you're watching my program. Thank you for tapping in. Hit that like, hit that share. Subscribe if you have not. But more than that, I need you to be able to benefit from the information that I attempt to disseminate to you and put you in a situation to whereas you don't have to work for the rest of your life. People talking about Social Security, people talking about, hey, what, a 401k, but you can create a living 401k right now. You can create a target IRA. You could have a traditional IRA. There's 1,000,005 ways to earn in the United States of America. I want you to be a part of that. Because it's easy to sit around and say what you don't have and what they're trying to discriminate. But when you are participating in what the Steve Zuckerbergs and the Mark Cubans and the Warren Buffetts of the world, when you're participating in what they're participating in, guess what happens? That means money goes into your pockets. That means when that supervisor, that boss get on your nerves, you open up your portfolio and say, not long now. And that's the goal we're trying to get into. That way we don't sit around and say, well, y'all, The black unemployment rate. Well, you know what? Let's put ourselves where the black unemployment rate is damn near at 100%, because all we're doing is working government jobs and working dream jobs, and then the rest of us are buying property. You would probably say, yo, Rap, how is that going to work for me? I'm going to tell you that. This is what Rap going to tell you. When you go to open up that account, whether it be E-Trade, whether it be, what's the name of this? What is this? Robinhood, or what have you. Whatever you do, it gives you the option. They ask you, so what are your goals? Are you attempting to create a retirement fund? Are you doing this for capital gains? Are you doing this for whatever? Okay. It also gives you this one option. It's an option called Investment Club. The Investment Club is a group of you and some of your friends, best done with an odd number, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, so forth and so on. And what you want to do, if I would suggest that you do this with your friends and your family member or your significant other and your children. This is what I would ask you to do. You want to do this with your significant other and your children, simply because if you do this and you pay attention to those things that I just had on the page a second ago, these places, you go there, you can A, educate yourself, and B, and most importantly, put your children in an advantageous situation. Imagine you take H-Rap in 2024 and move them back 31 years, right before BJ was born. My son would have been 2 months old this week, at some point next week. He'd been 2 months old. Imagine if me, my cousin Michael, and my cousin Vincent, we were close like brothers, if we'd have had this information and we would have started investing in, and what we would have done, you have Mike Jr., Vincent Jr., and BJ, Brian Jr. And you put them in a situation to where we do a target IRA. That means 18 years later, I could put $10, $12, $15 a week into this. What they would have is $300,000 or $400,000 at age 18. Imagine if your parent, a working class individual, didn't buy that extra pair of Air Jordans, didn't buy that extra T-shirt, and every week he put $35 into a target IRA for BJ, and then later on for my daughter Bria. When they turn 18, I hand them $300,000 or $400,000 to say, buy you a place or chase your dream. Life becomes easier at that point. And now what I want us to do is do that for our grandchildren, because we're going to be around for our grandchildren. And when our grandchildren, they're year old, 2 year old, now we do it now. And then when they turn 18, we say, hey, happy birthday, and hand them $500,000. And they're like, whoa, my grandparents are rich. No, we're not rich. What we did was do one or two things left. Look, we're talking about $35 a week. Well, what they had, and that's actually a little more than what the scientific thing was done. It was a scientific project. They had a monkey, a chimpanzee, pick stocks. Of course, they gave him so many, some stocks that could potentially work, but he picked them $300,000 after 20 years. So if we're doing this and we are aware, imagine now. It goes back to the Investment Club with you and your children. You got your children, you got your significant other, and you sit down and you're teaching them this. Are they gonna want to learn it? Nope. But guess what? When they start to see how much money they could make and how much money could be in their pockets by the time they turn 25, 30, 18, 19, 20, 21, guess what happens? They put themselves in a mental space and saying, wait a minute, I might not have to go to school. And just imagine if your parents would have told you that. I got my man checking out the company called Symbolic. They're a company that will be building the automotive warehouses for Walmart. See, there you go. This is what I'm talking about. Imagine if me, my significant other, Ray cares his significant other, and all of our children who are working, because all of our children at this point are adults. Thank you, 2Q, for the support. Always good to see you, my sister. Just imagine, 2Q called me a couple of weeks ago, and I got some information for you, 2Q. Continue to watch. I'm gonna give you some information. I want you to take down this, 2Q, or it's in the description of the show. Those 3 things, I want you to pay attention to those. That stock information you inbox me for, that's some information right there that'll be advantageous to you. But like I was saying, you create this. Imagine you and your close friends or your siblings, or you and your siblings, just imagine me, my significant other, her sister, her brother, and we all sit around the table. we all push we push $35 a piece to the middle of the table every week. It's not a lot of money. How about this? Sister girl and homeboy, everybody do $70. Push it to the center of the table. We're talking about $720 per week with a group of people. Just speedball and work with me, people. And what we will have is an investment club. Rated Kev told us about this new company, or this company that's building warehouses for Walmart. And then what you do is it's 15 of us, 16. You want it to be 15, an odd number, and you want them to push it to the center of the table, and we're going to invest in that, and we're going to do this every week. Do you understand? As we continue to diversify our portfolio, and I know these things may be foreign to us in some way, shape, form, or fashion, what we can actually do is this. Build up a portfolio. It becomes when you create the investment club, it gets a tax ID number. It automatically becomes a corporation. They ask you who's the president, vice president, so forth and so on. You created a business. If you create wealth inside of this business, because you're going over here to the company that Rated Kev said, you're going into Google, you're going into Apple, and next thing you know, you got a couple $100,000 in there. What you can do is take that $100,000, because you are a full functioning legal business, and you can wage the money that you've invested and go get a loan and purchase a 8-unit building. You do an 8-unit building. All of y'all have places to stay now. It's a $5,000 mortgage on it a month, and you got insurance on it. Guess what? All of y'all together paying about $16,000 in rent and things of that nature. And now you're living in one centralized place. You can probably put washing machines and dryers in this place. And now, instead of just doing $35, you've moved up to $235 and so forth and so on. That's how you build wealth in America. That's how the rich people build wealth. And then guess what? Now there's an older set of siblings, a younger set, a middle, a continue the middle, and young, right? What you do, the oldest people in the group, everybody in the group, put $1 million insurance policy on that person. You don't want to benefit of somebody's death. Yes, the hell you do. Because if we're living right, we've just taken a lot of stress off our lives. That person may pass away first, and then so forth and so on. And we continue to invest that money, and we create a family bank. And in that family bank, we're putting ourselves in an advantageous position to win. And that's how you create wealth in a capitalistic society that is not willing to give you a job, and you put yourself in a situation to as those jobs will be beneficial to you. And when those jobs are no longer beneficial to you, you can walk clean away. People, this is what we have to, and there is no other option, because I want you to understand this. The reason I even brought up all that and went through that entire diatribe is because Black success equals white backlash. Black success is equal to white backlash. What do you mean by that, H-Rap? What H-Rap means by that is this. Every time we've had success in this country as a community, there's been some form of backlash that has been destructive to our community. Let's just go back to the Revolutionary War. They told us you had King George of England and you had the President of the United States. We're going to look out for y'all if y'all help us defeat them. And King George said the same thing. Hey, we'll give y'all freedom if y'all help us defeat them. We helped the wrong people as far as history goes. Then when we helped the wrong people, guess what? We were enslaved. Slavery went from a 7-year indentured servitude to a lifetime in perpetual servitude. You are enslaved forever. Okay, bam. Well, we're screwed. We'll have to figure this out. Our ancestors had to figure it out. And what did we do? We helped them win the Civil War. You had Abraham Lincoln trying to save the Union, and you had the people in the South. I'm a free. The Emancipation Proclamation, those in the South who are enslaved, y'all gonna be free. And then bam, we win. We literally win the war for them. And what do we get for it? You know what we got for it? Another kick in our behinds. Okay, we win the war. We get emancipated. We have a 10-year period called Reconstruction. What comes out of Reconstruction? You have black laws, literally called black laws. You have discrimination, the advent of the Ku Klux Klan, the police departments, and these people hunted us and things of that nature. Literacy And don't think literacy is a synonym for intelligence, because that's what it is used as. Literacy is not a synonym for intelligence. Literacy means you can read the language of the country that you're living in. Because the people who create pyramids, the people who are kings, people who are medics, people who are architects, the people who are masters of agriculture, don't tell me that those are not intelligent people. They just couldn't read your language. And you literally made it illegal for me to read, or you would kill me. But we galvanized, we won the war for them. They galvanized the country, and then they discriminated. Oh, we're back at, we create things like Black Wall Street. We take over Peoria, Illinois. We take over Africatown, Alabama, so forth and so on. And guess what happens then? You burn those towns down, you put them underwater, so forth and so on. Tulsa, Oklahoma, we know what happened. Red Summer. We come back, we help them win the World War I and II. We come back and you have 1919, the Red Summer. You basically go through the entire summer, look it up, Google it, do yourself a tremendous favor so you can get angry, because angry people take action. Angry people take action. Anger forces action. That's just the way it is. And then you can walk through history, and every time we have a monicum of success, white backlash shows up. If Vice President Harris, the first Black woman, and you can call her age, you can call her a chicken, you can call her, call her what the hell you want to call her, but the first person of color, if that helps you guys, okay, becomes the president, she'll become Black at that moment, and we will receive backlash, whether it be civic backlash, public backlash, actually domestic terrorism and things of that nature. We will experience that. So get ready. Get ready. You'll have diversity, equity, and inclusion is bad. Hold it. You don't want a diverse workforce. And you've seen all over the world, stereotypically, Asians are smarter, so you don't want Asians in your plot. Hey, guess what? The Asians who kicked off that thing, who got away with affirmative action, it's less of y'all at the school now. Way to go. And then you don't want Latinos there. You don't want Blacks there. You don't want Indians there, because we just want to be in control. No, we want a minority majority rule. No, it doesn't work that way. Get involved, get into it. And if we start doing these things, we can buy property, and we can buy businesses and things of that nature, and we can apply directly to the government, and we can have people look. Every crew in the history of the world, and when I mean crew, I mean group of people, family, friends, or whatever, they have a force multiplier. What is a force multiplier? A person who, when you come to them with the idea, they're going to listen, they're going to look at it, they can analyze it, and boom, they're going to make it better. You got somebody who's good at you have a meticulous person in every group of people. That person, hey, you missed a comma, you didn't dot your I, you didn't do the force multiplier and the meticulous person. You got worker bees. You have people who just non-stop, they're going to work, they know how. You give them a plan, they will take that plan and take it to the end, and they will just run at high speed. Understand, surround yourself with a force multiplier. So surround yourself with a meticulous person. Surround yourself with hard workers. And when you do that, those things attract other people. When you attract other people, your wealth grows. This way, you don't need, in a capitalistic society, you don't need the other people, because the other people need you. So stop allowing people to use you, and we gonna start using each other. I got 2Q, she said, and let me see. And we're not to invest, and can't leave that part out. And we not willing to invest. You can't leave that part out. You know what? I don't think we're not willing to invest, 2Q. I think what we're not willing to do is trust the process, because we don't know. Look, we can't denigrate people for what they don't know, because it wasn't that long ago. We didn't know what we know. So I'm not going to get mad at you for not doing something that the whole world told you was to move. Oh, you got to be the smartest. No, you can be the dumbest. You can be dumb as a rock and do this and get paid. So we're not going to get mad at them. What we're going to do, 2Q, you and your friends going to get together. Me and my friends going to get together, and we are all going to create groups, and we're going to put ourselves in advantageous situations. I have to put myself back on track. Back on track. Let me see. Life insurance can do so many things in the Black community if we embrace it and stop running away from it. It can protect us from abuse and rebuild wealth. Thank you, Rated Kev. You are correct. 2Q. Let me see what you got to say. True boss told me after election to make sure I don't have leave the house without caring. Hey man, if that's what you feel you got to do, you got to do it. The goal, we gonna start living like the police. We're gonna start living like the police. And please excuse my inability to read these things. My black behind. Do I have all these lights on my face? I can't wear my glasses because it created a glare. And I'm egotistical. I don't want to look like a damn nerd. I'm gonna keep it funky with y'all. I don't want to look like a nerd sitting here with this glasses and stuff, looking like Professor Clump or somebody. That's all. I'm gonna keep it funky. But yeah. Thank you, dear daughter. Thank you. But back to my point, we can create our own jobs. Everybody knows somebody who can do something. There are no blanks in this world. Some people who can sew and they only make their own clothes. Seek that person out. Download that official Black Wall Street so you can find these people. We must stop feeding everybody and start feeding us. 60 million people, if 5 million of us said, you know what? Watch this, y'all. This is what I want y'all to understand. When I'm talking about this, I'm truly passionate about this because I had a revelation just yesterday. I mean, and everything started clicking again. I found Brian again. I started being B again. I was no longer Brian Williams. That's why I took my full government name off the screen. I became rap again, man, because never mind. But what we're going to do is we're going to put ourselves in a situation to whereas we don't need other people. I want you to realize this. Let's just say 60 million Black people. Man, watch this. Watch how simple fixing our community is. If y'all got 3 people next week to add to this program, 3 people, and they got 3 people. So let's just say we get to the point where we have 200,000 people, right? 200,000 people. That's going to put 10 grand a month in my pocket. 10 grand a month. 10 grand a month. Now, then you say, hey, rap, my sister does clothes. I want you, like my man, write this. These people, they sponsor me. Style Gods. Style Gods, right here in Chicago brand. Check them out, stylegods.com. Spelled exactly how it sounds. STYLESGODS. Stylegods.com. I'm slipping. They gave me little you digs, so I need to be speaking on it a little more. But just imagine that 200,000 people, they go buy a Style Gods t-shirt, just a t-shirt. We talking about 200,000 people, you know, selling $30 t-shirts, $30 t-shirt. And I don't even need the 200,000. Let's just do 15,000 people. 15,000 people. Do y'all understand that just out of 200,000, 15,000 people were to buy one t-shirt from Style Gods? That's almost $500,000. 15 times 30 is $450. That's $450,000. $450,000 in one day. One Tuesday. I need y'all to buy it. Go to Style Gods, buy it. 15,000, y'all go do it. $450,000 straight to Style Gods. They're straight for the year. And then what happens if you like even more? And then you say, hey, I got a cousin who does that. And we continue that cycle. We've created millionaires at an alarming pace. But guess what? I got this coffee mug, your H-Rap. I got this coffee mug for your show. Can you do it? And then I will give you a page on my website, www.theendofthebench.com. Same thing. We do the same thing at $15, and now we got $150,000. I ain't gonna lie, I want 10, 15,000 a year, 150 then. But guess what? Now I've made $25,000 a month. You've made $125,000 a month, and that's just how simple it is. That's why Amazon. That's why I'm bringing up this stuff about the stocks, because Amazon, guess what? If you get into the stock market and you buy some Amazon stock, even though at one point it was $2,400 a share, again, you just buy a portion. Amazon. You shop at Walmart. Every time somebody go to Walmart, every time you in Walmart, you looking around going, cha-ching, mother sucker. This is what we need to get in line with. I need us to get in line with these things, because when we get in line with these things, all we do is put ourselves in a more advantageous situation so we can move forward. I'm going to show you this video like I promised you. And then we're going to move forward. We're going to continue this conversation. It's going to be a little longer than most episodes, but I don't care, man. Unless y'all want me to get off, then I won't get off. But look, this is the video I want you to show you just how powerful, how strong, and how magnificent we are as a people. And when I get back, it is a 8-minute video. I'll be back in 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Man, maybe I need to get some context. But until then, check out this video, 8 minutes, 46 seconds. Your boy be back, H-Rap B, Build and Destroy, Enter the Bench Media, 2 minutes.
Why do we see a pattern of discrimination, suppression, and prejudice against Black Africans? And even that pattern lingers to this day. What's the made-up hostility the white European and Arabs felt toward Black Africans? Historically speaking, it was due to the superiority the Black Africans have had since the start of civilization. Black Africans were the richest of the rich, living in gold cities and making the world jealous. That's where non-Black people, with an inferiority complex, decided to portray Black Africans as inferior. But how? Well, it was done by using their dark complexion, plump lips, and woolly hair. Yes, they felt a threat so striking that they declared Black Africans a backward, inferior race. All their struggle was to show how uncivilized Black Africans were so they could teach them how civilized people like them live. That's where the wicked journey against Black Africans started. Today, even if everyone stays silent, history speaks too loud to be avoided. But the real focus should be this question: why do non-Blacks see Black Africans as a threat? And why does this same feeling prevail even today? Welcome to a new episode of Black Culture Diary, a channel where we talk about the people that are evidently ancestors of and superior to everyone, the Black. We scrutinize history here to bring the Black culture back on the surface again. In this episode, we will debunk why Black Africans were historically viewed as a threat. Let's get started.
$453,000 in a single month as an affiliate marketer without.
The first reason why non-Black felt threatened was Black Africans' physical superiority. Historically, and even today, Black people are the strongest humans on Earth. And this strength manifests itself in their physical charisma, which is hidden from nobody. Non-Blacks knew if Blacks were allowed to participate in their matters, they would eventually dominate what they held dear. Therefore, Blacks were left in the whirlpool of a new fabricated system. Non-Blacks, like the European colonizer, made it a social culture to enslave Blacks. Since they couldn't compete with Blacks in terms of strength, doing physical work was deemed inferior. Instead, someone who could do sophisticated jobs was considered civilized. And these civilized were then seen fit to be kings and rulers. Simply, Blacks were pulled out of the power equation. You see, non-Black changed the system which graded people. Physical superiority was deemed inferior as compared to being delicate and fragile, which was considered superior. Since European colonizers were weak and delicate themselves, they propagated this as a sign of delicacy. In the writing of Greek philosophers like Aristotle, it could be seen that he considered slaves as people born to be subjected. And don't forget, most enslaved people were Black in those days. Aristotle said that these slaves should work for their Greek masters so the masters could have leisure. Without any hesitation, Black people were considered lesser. Even different and brutal punishments were made for Black slaves because it was considered that enslaved people were less sensitive to pain. This takes us to the second reason for the threat, which is genetic annihilation. You see, since Black were enslaved, they were ripped off all of their basic rights. However, the brutal masters still felt threatened for obvious reasons of Black supremacy. Black people were undoubtedly stronger, more charismatic, and bolder than the non-Black masters. Hence, the threat of getting genetic annihilation existed. In other words, white Europeans and non-Blacks knew that if they married Black, their genes would become submissive and eventually extinct. Biologically, those genes with more chances of survival dominate during fusion and manifestation. Mating results in the fusion of genes that came from the male and female, and the child and its appearance is the manifestation of the dominant genes. In this case, no matter who married a Black man, either a white or Arab woman, the genes of that Black man would dominate. In other words, it will be the annihilation of non-Blacks' genes. Honestly, this was a massive threat, which cannot be emphasized enough. That's why Black slaves were prohibited from marrying any non-Black people. They knew the natural law of the survival of the fittest, which makes Blacks superior to all. The non-Blacks were so terrified of Blacks that they followed the Black blood drop strategy. Anyone with even one drop of Black blood was considered inferior, taken away from normal people and put in the same class as other Black people. But evidence exists that this wasn't the case in Latin America, where the Spanish and Portuguese empires existed. Spanish and Portuguese people would marry their slaves and have children, which could enjoy all the rights. Even Arabs would marry their black slaves and have children, which would introduce themselves as Arabs, following Arab culture and customs. Before we continue further, tell us, are you loving the video? If yes, please like and share the video and subscribe to our channel to watch more videos on Black culture, history, civilization, and their natural superiority. Let's continue now. The third reason for the threat was Black being the first ever human civilization. History and fossil records make it clear that the first humans emerged in Africa. No disparity exists on the point that it was Africa where the first humans started living. With time, they developed cognitive skills until reaching the point of building the first human civilization. It's just an unbelievable and rather unorthodox concept that Black Africans existed and prospered when no other race was even born. Centuries of time encouraged some Black Africans to migrate and come to Asia and Europe. Today, the people living in Asia, Europe, and all other parts of the world are actually predecessors of Black Africans, and that's where non-Black feel resented. They don't want to accept that they are predecessors of the same race they have been calling inferior for centuries. But honestly, it doesn't matter whether they accept it or not. Getting a DNA test would clear this all up. Already, this has been manifested. Genetic testing has shown that European people have 4% to 20% of their genes, similar to Northwest African ancestral groups. No matter which human you pick, they would have traces of African genes in them, manifesting that Blacks are the actual ancestors of everyone. But non-Blacks don't want that to happen. If it does, it will make Europeans similar to the Black Africans of today, breaking their illusion. Not only that, but this proves that Africa is actually the center of the world, not Europe or West, and that they hold all the power. Within a blink of an eye, Black Africans will be added to the power equation, threatening non-Blacks. The fourth striking reason for feeling a threat is due to Africa being the most resourceful continent on the planet. Natural resources like oil, gas, gold, silver, diamond, and other precious metals are overflowing in Africa. Mountains exist with gold under a few layers, which Africans often get their hands on, and non-Blacks can't digest that. How can they fathom Africans having all the wealth? They cannot forget the phenomenal records of Africa's wealth in Arabic writing. In the writings of Arabs like Al-Fazari, it becomes evident how wealthy and prosperous Africa was centuries ago when the rest of the world didn't know what wealth was. Al-Fazari called Ghana the city of gold, and the king of Ghana the wealthiest sovereign alive. Knowing this, non-Black cannot allow Africans of today to have all the resources. Hence, using the same stereotyping, Africans are shown as people with less cognitive power to decide about themselves. That's why European colonizers like France, Spain, Italy, and Britain colonized Africa and exploited its natural resources. Even today, France holds 50% of the African nation's gold in its vaults. Italy's Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni revealed this in an interview. She said that in return for gold, France prints money for African nations, which are just pieces of paper worth nothing. Did you know these threats make non-Blacks like white Europe and Asians hostile to Black Africans? Do you feel that even after centuries, nothing has changed, and non-Blacks still subconsciously feel threatened? Tell us in the comment section right below. Haven't you ever wondered why you see one Black person in every team, committee, talk show, and film? Why is that so? Let us give you a hint. It shows that everything is normal and Black are getting their rights. But the reality is otherwise. Do you want to watch more videos like this one? If yes, subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon next to it. We have decided to bring videos on something nobody is talking about: the Black culture, civilization, history, and the evidence proving Black superiority. Thanks for watching, and until the next video, stay tuned.
Now, the next video, as you see, the camera's different, and I'm in a different situation. Thank y'all for tuning in. Hit that like, hit that share, subscribe if you haven't. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And if, like I said, a lot of people will get uncomfortable hearing words like superiority and things of that nature, because you feel when people say superiority, it is a threat. Because when you hear white superiority, it's usually a rope and a lynching and tar and feathering and incarceration and discrimination and things of that nature surrounding that. We're just talking about physically, mentally, emotionally, and things of that nature. Once you remove all those things, you will get a supreme being, a person, a group of people who are on the richest land, the most powerful people, the most innovative people, some of the most intelligent people in the history of the world come from that place, and we come from that. And if you don't like it, y'all know my slogan, STBY, sucks to be you, because that is true. But we don't mean to denigrate anyone. But what I want you to understand is this, and this is how I'm gonna close out. Actually, I didn't know that I keep my notes right here, words, and then it triggers what I'm gonna say. I thought I didn't complete everything, but I only got like 3 minutes to talk, because it's the last topic. I covered everything. I did it out of order, but I covered every topic. Salute to you guys for always supporting me and giving me the platform. Support my platform as I do this. And salute to the people who are in all over the world who support me as well. I said I was going to do this week, and I said I was going to do it last week, but I'm going to do it today. I'm going to acknowledge the people who support me, and I really appreciate it. And it is beyond my comprehension, but I'm glad you do it, and I'm glad I can't comprehend it. And maybe, every story, there'll be questions in the world that they have no answers to. So what we're going to do is salute these people. I'm going to salute the people in South Africa, the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia, Nigeria, Germany, Kenya, the Netherlands, and Ghana. You are the top people that support me outside the United States of America. Respect to all of you. Your support is greatly appreciated. If your name is not in the top 10, get your people in the top 10. Get your people in the top 10. And then I say y'all name too. And of course, the people who I know and have connections with, thank you guys. And people in the United States of America, please continue to support. Now, as I was stating, the reason I even brought this up is because I want to read, like, the purpose of the show. It is called Build and Destroy, to build up the community and destroy the lies and the propaganda. A couple of times people say we have to learn to trust each other. What that trust is, it is the true and dictionary definition of the word integrity. We must reinstitute communal integrity. Everyone does not have integrity. And I do believe people in our community we need to grab hold to the concept of everyone does not have integrity. And once we do that, guess what will happen? Brothers, ladies and gentlemen, all our haters and bitter friends, they will fall by the wayside. See, when people who have lost weight, you usually start off in a group, and then the people who are not that serious, they fall off. You're not better than them. That was just not their situation at that moment. Point blank period. Some people, you get into the church, no matter what church it is, no matter which way you pray or who you pray to, and people tend to fall off to the wayside because that's not their time to be inducted into that lifestyle, and it might be another path for them. So when we're talking about uniting and uplifting and bringing some healing into the community, everybody's not for that mission either. So when we institute integrity will allow you a certain standard of living. And I'm not talking about a financial or social status. I'm talking about, look, I am going to love you and you're going to love on me. And we're going to love on each other as a community, and we're going to move forward. The people who are not with us, what we'll do is move away from them, not physically, but hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, I'm out. I'm back in the crib. And then you'll have people over to your place of residence, and you'll create investment clubs, and you'll create subsidiaries of investment clubs. Just imagine. And then you forge situation. Me and my lady, we create this for our children. Then our children go off and create it amongst each other and their favorite cousins. Because, we all got cousins that we gravitate. So you got cousins and buddies, and now they're doing it. And then we're all whole subsidiaries of one gigantic, we're branches of one gigantic tree. And that's the goal. We don't have to, hey man, I learned this just by doing my program. You cannot make people chase your dream. Some people gonna be, hey, yeah, I'm in. Or then I'm a person who can argue the leaves off a tree. So some people went along because I was convincing, but I convinced them that's not what they wanted to do. So don't try to convince anybody of this. You present it to your significant other. Hey, watch this. Self-promotion. You and her watch this again. And maybe she'll hear from me. Or you and him watch this again. And he'll go, oh, I get another view. I get a little more change. But well, let's be honest. I'm gonna keep it funny. Look. That's what we do, though. Seriously, we watch this, and you show this to a group of your friends, and then he's like, you know what, dude, makes some sense. And then you go to these websites that I gave you. You go to these websites. Put that back on the screen. Guru Focus, information, Marco trends, that is the market trends. And then you go to the Senate Stock Watcher. The Senate Stock Watcher is the most important of the three, in my personal opinion. You can go to the other two and get the information, but Senate Stock Tracker is the most important of the three because it makes it easy. It allows you to make money and be lazy as all get out. You know why it allows you to be lazy as all get out? For one reason and one reason only. A few years back, COVID hit the world, and Pfizer, yeah, that's Pfizer, the boner pill people, and Johnson & Johnson, I can't remember the third one. That's what the government said. We're going to put our money behind them so they can create a vaccine. Pfizer stock went up. Just imagine if you've been putting $1,000 a week in Pfizer, whoop, guess what? You got $300,000 or $400,000. You can buy that property. You can start that business. You can do whatever you want to do with that money, or you could just throw the greatest family reunion in the history of the world. Do what you want to do. I'm just saying. Just imagine if all of those tentacles to that family tree, me and her, then our children, 5 children, and then you and your children, and then we are communicating, and then we could literally, we get to 1,000 people, we control the market. Okay, all of us put in $2,000, and then the market goes up, and then all of a sudden that stock goes from $2.50 a share, it's up to $8 a share. We take out that $1,000, and now we got another $1,000 to invest in something else, and then bam, we continue to do it, and we continue to raise, and we continue to create wealth, and then we do the target IRAs, and then all our children and our grandchildren, and then it is a cyclical situation. And then we have communities like, the world famous, the powerful people, the boogeyman, no disrespect to that community, the people who practice Judaism, the Ashkenazi Jews, or they control everything. Why they control everything? Because they work in unison. I ain't trying to dish you. I'm trying to be like you. So what I want us to do is do these things, learn this information, and it is a program. In the link again, in the bio of this link, I want you to pay attention to. I want you to look at Monday Markets with an S. Monday Markets. It's these 3 brothers giving you information. That's how I made the little piece of change I made, put it in my little retirement, get down. Your boy is back. The bounce is back. The sad thing is the people who I used to be, we were setting this up when I got murdered, when I passed away, my cousin Vincent, my mother. And I'm back. I continue to do it at a low rate every week. I'm jumping down. I've been doing it. Look, I'm gonna give you this, and then I'm gonna take off. I want you to understand this is what I was doing it, but I wasn't doing it with the fervor I should. There was some days I wouldn't even eat, and I would put that money in the market, and I just and I leave it there. I'm not saying don't eat. I'm saying you don't need to eat 3 meals a day. What do you mean, Rap? You don't want me to stop? No. If it takes 8 hours to digest the meal, it's 24 hours in a day. Why would you feed yourself 3 times? Your body is never actually resting and healing itself. Food should be medicine. Food should be medicine. So if you medicate your body in the middle of the evening, you can do a little fruit and some nuts in the morning, a little water. And then in the evening, get a little more fruits, a little more nuts. You will slim down. When you slim down, guess what happens? There's fewer arteries in your body. There's fewer veins in your body. Why do you need fewer veins, right? You fewer veins and arteries, your blood pressure go down because your heart is not pumping through the extra arteries and veins. All of a sudden, your blood pressure go down, and then you got more flow. And that plaque that's sitting in your veins is loosening up because the blood flowing through it more. Now, the blood flowing through it more, you less plaque, you got less chance to have diabetes. Now you get diabetes, and then your heart is beating at a regular rate. So now you reduce your blood pressure, which affects your heart. Reduce your diabetes, which affects your kidneys, lungs, and things of that nature, brain, and things of that nature. And then your heart is pumping less, so you're living longer. You're healthier. You're healthy. You can enjoy some of this money I want you to earn. You can enjoy some of the money, you're stressed, and now everything is working the way it should. And then you can start going on vacations and getting around. That's all I have today. I want you to understand I do this because I love my people. And I'm back. That's all I want you to understand. I'm back. Cheers to Rap. I'm drinking this milk thistle tea Milk thistle tea. If you want to know what to look it up, milk thistle. Milk thistle cleans the liver. The liver reduces this little stomach I got. And then once the stomach I got, the bowel reduces. When your stomach and your kidneys and your liver functioning properly, your intestines are working. Your small and large intestines, they force a bile out of your body. More bile out of your body, the blood flow. Everything has something to do with flow. So milk thistle tea. Your man H-Rap. This is the end of the program. I am here to do everything I can to uplift my community. 2 finger, 1 word. My man Big Mo, take us out of here.
We lust for that cheese, we lose sleep, dreams of that cream. We killing our teens, they dying for this American dream. Them government schemes, they turning us to hustlers and fiends. We hustling trees, them politicians smuggling green. Chasing that cheese, got everybody stressed in the streets. Pardon me for speaking freely, let it breathe. Evangelists preach the congregations out of their seats. They writing them checks for tithes, now it's people can't eat. She stripping for change for school, now she giving them brain. She used to that loot, she earning, now she giving them strain. He new to this game, but hungry, so he cooking his cane. He getting that paper, but then they gave him 2 to the brain. It's rules to this game, but hustlers never hustle for fame. The spirit of greed is grimy, so we struggle to change. They put us in chains to take away our African names. But if we submissive and don't resist, then who do we blame? It's all a game, man, these Europeans staking they claim. And you a victim of their game plan, you thinking they ain't. You thinking they saints, remember all them niggas they hang. Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. They gave us Obama, but that nigga was hoping for change. But Zimmerman is killing niggas and he free. Shit is crazy, babies having these babies and getting checked. But keep the child from they pop to rip his heart out his chest. Our rappers was leaders and now they in the booth and the dress. Spitting bullshit and making more but giving us less. They taking our sound and changing ours, dumbing it down. They taking our jobs and homes and they shutting us out. They taking our kids because it ain't a man in the house. They locking us down, but soon they gon' be wiping us out. They told our women they was too independent to need a man. They told our brother he was too insignificant to advance. It's all a game, man, these Europeans staking they claim. And you a victim of their game plan, you thinking they ain't. You thinking they saints, remember all them niggas they hang. Killed our women and our children, all our leaders is slain. It's all a game.
And it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over, if those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why